Welcome back to Fair Territory, Toms River softball show for everyone, for the kids, and tonight you'll see for the big kids. We wanted to recap a couple of things from our last show. We have a couple of surveys going. We'd like as much participation as possible. We got a lot of people have sent us some emails. And the two questions that we had, the two surveys that we had going were to all the players out there, ASA players, high school players, recreational players, hey, and even the big kid players. How would you like to be coached? When you're on the softball field and it's practice, how would you like to be coached? How do you want to be treated? And the second question we had for all of the girls out there was, would you rather play in a game or would you rather just be part of a winning team? And I'm kind of getting at, when you go to play softball, is it something that you want when you do it, you want to play, or you just want to be part of a winning team? Would you rather play and lose? Play and win, of course, but if you lost, that would be okay. Or do you just want to be on a team that wins? I think that the two important surveys, it's interesting how it's running so far. It's actually not interesting to me because I've seen studies on it in the past, and it's true to form in Toms River as well. And then again, we'd like you to send us some emails and tell us what topics you'd like us to talk about. We're going to have guests on. We have guests tonight. Ellen Salmon from the it's the Women's Slow Pitch Softball League. And we're going to have a call-in player from the Men's Over 30 League, Behen. And we'll see how that goes. And we had to keep the girls and the boys separate. For some reason, it was Rick's idea. Anyway, so let us know. And we've got some emails to answer. We're going to answer them at the end of our show. That people had a couple of questions on how to do a couple of things. And maybe we'll even get some opinions as we move along with today's show. So the first thing we're gonna move to is our guest, Ellen, and softball player, right?
Yes, I am.
And how long have you been a softball player?
I've been playing softball since I was 9 years old.
9 years old, so that's about 10 years now you've been playing?
About that, yes.
Nice. And what position do you play?
I'm a pitcher in slow pitch right now.
Slow pitch.
Yes.
But how'd you start out?
I started out as a pitcher in fast pitch, and I moved on to a catcher in high school. I was a catcher for Central Regional. Graduated in 1984. And then we started playing slow pitch softball, and I've been playing that ever since.
That's nice. Is the league a Toms River League?
Yes, it's a Toms River League. We play right in the Winding River Fields on 37,
right
back by the ice skating rink. We play there.
How many teams?
There is 8 teams currently. We're hoping to get up to 10 this year.
How do you recruit the teams?
We advertise on our website and word of mouth, basically.
We're going to probably do this a couple of times, and certainly Rick will have this on Toms River TV website. Give us the website.
The website is eteams/TomsRiverSoftball.com.
E-teams.
TomsRiverSoftball.com.
TomsRiverSoftball.com. That's very good. Because ironically enough, for the little girls, I say the little girls, they're also E-teams, Toms River Girls Softball League.
Yes.
.com. So that's good. You can't go wrong. You'll be able to play softball one way or the other.
That's right.
So tell me a little bit in the beginning of your career. You're 9 years old, and where did you play? In a recreation league down in Berkeley? Or?
I actually am from up north, so I played up in Hillside on a girl-boy recreation team. That was actually softball, as strange as that is. That
right.
Boys were playing softball at the time.
Yep. And
when I came down here, I lived in Bayville, and I played on the recreation team in Bayville until I got to high school. I played for Central Regional 11th and 12th grade. And after I graduated, I didn't play for maybe 2 years, and then we started playing in the Toms River League. We've been doing it ever since.
I'm going to ask you, what did you like most when you first started out? When you're 9 years old, you're 10 years old, you're playing softball, and you played fast pitch at that time.
Yes, it was fast pitch at the time. I liked learning it all, and I liked the accomplishments that came with learning it as you went along and learned how to pitch fast pitch. It's not an easy thing to learn, and the better we got as a team, was always a plus in everything. And I've made lifelong friends playing softball. I've had one person I played since I was 7th grade. Her and I have been friends.
Is that right? Would you say then that probably athletics, especially for female athletics, that the social aspect of the game is huge?
Absolutely, without a doubt. My team, the Chuggers, I have to put us in there. We've been together for over 20 years.
Wow.
The same team, the same 8 core girls. We've got girls come and go.
Sure.
But the same core girls have been playing for a long time. And it's the same thing with other teams in our league. We have Cleese that play, and there's a team Hemingways. All these teams have all been together for years and years, and they're all a bunch of great people and good friends.
Wow. 20 years. And you played fast pitch at the time, and back, because I can say this because it's really not that long ago. I can say back when you first started, and for probably 10 years after, pitching dominated, because hitters have only had access to training and hitting coaches lately.
Right.
And it changed the game a little bit because the pitchers are not as dominant as they once were. But back in the day...
Back in the day they were, and actually when I played there was no such thing as windmill pitching. We pitched slingshot. So it was a different game. It was a completely different game.
But even a slingshot pitcher still pitches the ball very fast.
Oh yes, I've had games where I've struck out many people, including some men.
Of course, of course.
With fast pitch. You can pitch very fast playing slingshot.
Right. And the game, in the game itself, it may not appear, especially for people who are baseball fans, sometimes baseball can be very slow. It's slow, and then there's a play, and then it's slow. In softball, the field dimensions, by virtue of the field dimensions, speed the game up tremendously.
Yes, definitely.
And everybody has to react faster.
Yes.
Would you say today now that the game has become more of a team game as opposed to being so dominated by a pitcher and perhaps 1 or 2 big hitters?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, because the kids, not only are they pitching a lot better, but they're also hitting a lot better.
Right.
So, you have to have a third baseman who's got a very fast glove on third base. You can't have, somebody who's slow. Sometimes there's certain positions where you would put a player who's not as good.
Right.
You can't do that anymore.
Right.
All 9 people have to be really good players nowadays.
Good players. Does the league play with 9 players or 10 in the field?
We play with 10 in slow pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, in slow pitch we play with 10. We do have an extra outfielder.
And more people get to play, too.
Yes. Yes.
Well, that's good. So then you did it through high school, and what was your idea of high school? How was that like playing in high school?
I loved it. I loved playing in high school. I didn't start until I was in 11th grade playing in high school, and I'm sorry that I didn't play 9th and 10th grade because I really, really liked it. And the people, there's one of the girls I still play with now is still on my team. There's another one who was in our league till recently, who I played on high school ball with. So, like I said, these are lifelong friends,
right?
And I loved playing with them.
Did you choose not to play your freshman and sophomore year?
I did. I was playing rec ball, and I was working and doing different things, and being a kid, and But looking back on it now, I wish I went into 9th and 10th grade playing softball.
And so that there's no doubt that you're very happy with your decision to continue playing now.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. And it's still it's still big time camaraderie.
Yes, it is. And I'm getting into coaching my kids now, which is another very fun thing to do. I coach my daughter's softball team, and so I get a little bit of both now.
And in Toms River?
In Beechwood, in the Beechwood softball league. Yes.
Okay. And how many teams is Beechwood softball league?
Well, it goes by age bracket, so there's probably maybe 8 teams altogether because it's a small town.
Sure.
So, but we play different teams, different towns. We'll play Lacey League. We might play the Berkeley League.
I get you.
We're hoping to get some Toms River teams to maybe play against, just to have different people to play and do different tournaments and things like that. Right.
Yeah, the Toms River Girls Softball League is a very big softball league recreationally, and I know that they changed some of their rules this year because. Well, I think what happens in any organization, whether it's sports, whether it's stamp collecting, whether it's growing roses, is that there's a core group of people, that are very serious about it at a very competitive level. Whether they're collecting stamps, collecting baseball cards with Rick, football cards, whether they're growing roses for fun or to exhibit. And in softball, whether to play on a national stage like ASA tournaments and the travel ball teams. Right. And I think that what happens is they eventually dominate a little bit the organization until changes come about.
Yep.
Yeah, girls softball league was like that, and they kind of drifted into being a pretty competitive in that